problem with open source, or a problem, has been a lack of monetization. And in some ways, we're living in the golden age of open source monetization, where you've got lots of projects that are able to monetize it by selling consulting services or hosting. And I think there's never been more monetization for open source than now, but that still is a tiny fraction of the overall projects. And so I think there is an opportunity for a lot of developers to actually earn reasonable livings from open source. And that's one of the problems that Fluence Labs is solving, is actually tracking on our decentralized peer-to-peer network, tracking the use of open source projects and components on blockchain. And whenever open source components are used, the authors share in some of the hosting revenue. So people don't pay more, there's not a fee associated with it, but you effectively share in the hosting revenue, and that's agreed up front and with the host, done via smart contract. And so we think that actually provides the opportunity for developers all around the world who otherwise wouldn't have access to funding to potentially secure, no one's buying a boat with this, right? There'll be small payments, but support themselves and families with while writing open source usable code.
Does it occur automatically, or you have to follow the footsteps of the users and bring the fees into the project?
No, I mean, the way it works is if you go onto the Fluence protocol and you want to actually build something on it, if you select components, there will be a hosting fee associated with those components, and that's what you'll decide if you're going to pay it or not. And if you do, and it makes sense because you have to host it somewhere, unless you host it yourself, which is fine and a different thing. But if you it's hosted on Fluence, then some of that goes from the actual host directly to the authors. So you, as a user, as a developer, don't see it at all.
How do you define the development of this component? Once you use this component and you build something on top, and some other person come and take both parts.
So no, it's exactly right. Well, it's as long as you're using component on Fluence, that use is tracked. You use it, and then someone copies your program and builds on top of it, which you can do on Fluence. That's all tracked. If you copy it, edit it, the actual component, and rehost it on Fluence, then that's a different thing. And then that you then may earn from that.
Well, I'm most concerned.